estate investing fools. Today I am bringing you a spotlight on the Columbus, Ohio market, and my guest is Brett Kaufman. He's the founder and CEO of Kaufman Development based in Columbus. He's been working in real estate development through the investment banking and development lens for 20 years. He's developed, leased, and or sold over 10,000 homes and developed a variety of commercial, retail, land, and office projects. So he's the perfect person to have this conversation with. Well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm excited to talk with you because on Millionacres.com, we just published our hub on the Columbus market. Seems like it's kind of going through a growth phase right now.
Oh, yeah. Columbus is really growing quite well. It's been fun to watch. It's actually, I think, been going on for probably the last decade, but really in the last 5 to 7 years, we've seen tremendous growth.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the residential market because I took a look at that. It's been on my radar for a little while. I noticed that median home price, according to Redfin, is around $232,000. I mean, that's below the national median, which is around $330,000. But I think one of the things that is interesting about Columbus is that the median price has been rising by double digits for the last few years. Is this the end of a window of affordability in Columbus?
You know, I hope not. I think that there is an issue regarding density and approvals that have made it harder to bring inventory to the market, both on the multifamily and the single family side. And, you know, I am involved with a number of efforts to really try to tackle affordability. So I think our leadership here at the city does understand that this is an issue. It's an issue that's a lot worse in cities that are a little further along than Columbus. And so there's a lot of discussion on how to make sure that we don't end affordability. But, you know, there's a supply and demand aspect to this. And if inventory continues to be limited, it is going to drive pricing up.
What is that housing inventory right now? Is it pretty low as it is in the rest of the country?
It is, yeah. Both again on the single and multifamily side of things. And we don't build single family, but, just knowing enough about the market generally here, stuff is being bought as fast as it's built or being leased pretty much as fast as it can be built. There really isn't enough inventory in the marketplace. And there's a little bit of a catch up that's happening right now.
Makes sense. I know Columbus has an interesting mix of factors. It's got universities and colleges nearby. What are you thinking about with student housing right now? Will students be back in the fall? And is that an area that's growing in Columbus?
Absolutely. And yes, it's been growing, like it has on a lot of college campuses. We're fortunate to not just have Ohio State, which is one of, if not the largest public university in the country, but we have Columbus College of Art and Design. We've got a number of other schools in and around the area. And kids are ready to come back on campus. And I believe that come fall, it will be pretty much back to college as we knew it. And the student housing component is something that's really been a game changer for how kids live and experience college. There's a whole new world to it that's pretty exciting. It's a lot nicer than it was when I was in college.
I think that's really true. One of the REITs we follow is American Campus Communities, and I've noticed that the way students live now is very, very different than when I was in college.
Yeah. My son actually lives in one of their properties in Austin, Texas. And I've, gotten a chance to see what the offering's like. And as a consumer, it's really impressive, how they handle kind of every aspect of student life, including the move in, the move out, the management, the food service, you name it. They've kind of really brought a lot of it under one roof. And it's a pretty impressive and great, experience for the students.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about Columbus's growth, because I know there's this narrative that I've seen in the media about the Midwest losing population, but I was looking at the census data. Columbus actually has been gaining pretty steadily, and I believe it was ranked 22nd in major metros with increasing population. What is drawing people to the area?
Well, it's an interesting thing. Columbus doesn't have maybe oceans and mountains and weather and some of the other attractions that you find in other markets. But what we do have, which I think people really appreciate now more than ever, is we have a community that's very open. It's easily accessible. It's easy to navigate, both literally, like in traffic. You can get anywhere in Columbus in pretty much 20 minutes. There is affordability, relatively speaking, but I think it's a mindset, a Midwestern mindset that's very open. It's very welcoming. It's very inclusive. It's very focused on making a difference, and being a place where you can do that. And I think people see that. We've seen a tremendous venture capital boom here in Columbus because people get that there is intelligence coming out of the university, coming out of state capital, coming out of the Fortune 100 companies that we have here. And there's an opportunity to step right in and tap into that intelligence, tap into all the other resources that allow people to come in and do big things. And I will say, organizationally speaking, I think the leadership in this city is really focused on doing all the right things. It's very collaborative. There are groups that I'm a part of where you have CEOs that otherwise in most cities would be very competitive, that are collaborating to solve the city's biggest issues. And I think we're seeing the results of that.
How did the city come together during the pandemic?
Phenomenally. I mean, I have to tell you that it was one of the silver linings to a very difficult time was seeing how people came together. Certainly after the George Floyd murders, there was a tremendous movement for leadership in this city, for CEOs, for people in the community coming together to be together at a difficult time. Same is true for whether it be the restaurant industry or the housing industry or any number of people that had challenges throughout this last year. There's been a tremendous effort to come together, to collaborate, to support each other, to invest in each other, to do what it takes to come through and be better off in the end. And I think Columbus is a city that really does that very well.
Wanted to ask you what's happening with Columbus's Central Business District. One of the things that we're tracking is, with people being out of the offices, if central business districts are, having a little bit of a trouble. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I think Columbus's central business district, in our case, that can kind of spread. Our downtown is large when you consider kind of all the surrounding areas. So it's quite a big area, but that's where the energy is in this city. And so, these venture-backed companies, the startup ecosystem, even the more traditional companies, they want a presence downtown. And that's where the energy is. And that's where, you've got to recruit and retain talent, is to bring people into a high energy environment. And, that's what we've been creating here over the last decade. And that's where people want to be. And that's where people are returning. I'm very much a believer that people want to be together, that work isn't just a thing that you do to get stuff done. It's a social experience. And there's a lot of collaboration and a lot of efficiencies of being together. And we're seeing people return to their offices. We're returning to our office. Most of my colleagues are doing the same thing. And that's really fueling that return of that kind of vibrancy to the Central Business District.
Excellent. From a rental property investor standpoint, what neighborhoods in Columbus are growing and which ones offer the best opportunities for people that are looking to do some research?
Well, I'm really big on Franklinton, which is just on the west side of our downtown. There's a lot of kind of creative energy in that part of Columbus, which to me is always the sign of where the growth is about to happen. I follow the creatives. I always have. Maybe that's personally because that's what I'm attracted to. That's what gets me excited. But I also think just fundamentally, that's generally a good indicator of where development is about to happen. So Franklinton is kind of my first choice in Columbus. Our Short North neighborhood, which is kind of our former creative arts district, it's a little bit more of a entertainment district today, is probably the hottest real estate in the city. And, there are some opportunities still there. So that's a great bet as well. And the Central Business District is really continuing to be developed. We've done a number of projects there. The city has been heavily invested in creating public space, redoing our riverfront, and all of that's really paid off to make the core of downtown a very attractive investment opportunity as well.
Is there opportunity downtown as far as multifamily, or is it mostly an area with office buildings?
No, mostly the opportunity I would say is on the multifamily side. That's where we've seen most of the development. There have been some new office buildings. We've built a couple of them. We're building one now. So there is office development that's happening successfully, but you're seeing a lot of hotels, you're seeing a lot of apartments, you're seeing some condominiums. So the residential side of things, it has grown tremendously. We've probably built, well over 10,000 units, over the last, 7 years. And that continues to be a big part of what the activity is downtown.
What do you think the biggest challenges are that the city faces?
Well, it kind of changes from time to time. Right now, construction costs are really high, so that's making projects difficult. I think that, the retail environment is one that, is very much in question right now and is critical, for us to have, the entertainment, the restaurants, the shopping, the things that people want to do. Having that downtown, I think is really important to create that sense of place and that kind of full experience that people are longing for. So, I think that those things are challenges. But I think all of them can be overcome. They have been, and, we continue to see progress. And I think the affordability issue is one that, is top of the list, has to stay there. We have to have a community that is holistically thinking about everybody. It cannot just be a gentrified area that is only for people who can afford it. That does not make for a good community. That will create unintended consequences, real problems. I've seen that. I've seen it in Austin. With the homeless situation. I've seen it in other markets. We've got to really keep affordability probably at the top of the list and making sure that, one, we're providing enough inventory, because that by itself makes a difference, but two, that we really have strong, affordable solutions to tackle affordability.
Yeah, I think that's very true. So as we wrap up, I want to know a little bit about what projects you're working on in the area and which ones you're most excited about.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for asking. We've got a couple of projects that we're really excited about. Gravity is our largest focus right now, a community that we've developed one phase already called Gravity, and a second phase that's under construction right now. In total, it'll be probably about 15 acres of urban infill development. It's, probably close to 1,000 apartment units, several 100,000 square feet of office, first floor retail. There's co-living, there's affordable housing, and a lot of placemaking around the arts. We are focused on what we are calling, and others are calling, conscious communities. So our communities are really focused on an experience that's elevating, that's transformative, that allows people to connect to the things they're passionate about, that allows them to collaborate with other people that they have shared interest in, and really hoping that we can do more than just build spaces for people to live and work, but we can build communities where people can thrive and transform and be better off. And that hopefully that will be our way of making a difference in the neighborhood, in the broader community, the city, and, the world. So that's our focus, Gravity. I think it's the largest conscious community in the country. We're really excited that it's here in Columbus. And we're, leaning into some other concepts. We have another project in the short north called Greenhouse, which is solely focused on wellness, nature, and transformation. So it's really a kind of heavy focus on biohacking and simple habits to live a healthier, better life, a nature aspect that really allows for people to connect to nature in an urban environment. So those are our two signature projects and brands that we're really excited about, and looking to see those come to life this year.
Well, that's really fascinating to me because you've mentioned two trends that I think we tend to think of as being big city trends. So co-living and also wellness as an amenity. I mean, for New York City, wellness as an amenity started to be big like 5 years ago. So it's great to see that this is something that is really coming to smaller cities as well.
Yeah, I think that wellness as an amenity is something that, has been around in a variety of ways for many years. And, to your point, in usually the bigger cities, what we're finding is that people in the Midwest want the same things that people on the coast want. And many of them don't want to go to the coast, and they can't afford to take the time to. So we're bringing it here. And, I think it's more than an amenity. I think this is a necessity. I think this is what we need as human beings to live healthier, happier lives. We have got to take the time to work on our mental health as much as our physical health. And those are the facilities, those are the experiences that we're trying to facilitate. We're trying to really bring people a truly holistic experience so that they can live a happier, healthier life.
I just love that. So last question, why should someone come check out Columbus, whether they're a real estate investor or not?
There's a lot happening here. There's a tremendous amount of opportunity, certainly from a real estate standpoint. When I look at cap rates and I look at returns, I don't think you can get the kind of returns and so I think it's a great place to be investing. I think the next decade here in Columbus is going to be transformative. I think you're going to see what has been laid a tremendous foundation to really have us scale. We've got a number of venture-backed companies now that have created billion-dollar exits and generating thousands of jobs, and it's the right kind of jobs. Again, university, state capital, there's just a lot going on here. So we're extremely bullish on Columbus from an investment standpoint. And then just personally from like why would I want to live, work, visit? There's a lot going on. We have a great amount of culture, arts, again, affordability, accessibility, access. I mean, you can access your state government, you can access local government, you can access leadership very easily. People are very open, they're very welcoming, they're very collaborative, and it's just a great place to live, work, raise a family, great schools. I've really felt blessed to be here and had an opportunity to start a business, grow a business, raise a family. I wouldn't really want to do it anywhere else.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.